Up next, round 6 of AMSOIL Championship Snocross and the U.S. Air Force Snocross National presented by Christian Cars Online. Deadwood has a reputation for thrilling bar-to-bar racing and drama that brings the capacity crowd to their feet. This tight, quick, chaotic turn track at the Days of 76 rodeo grounds will surely create the most talked about races of the season. It's goggles down, throttle up. The U.S. Air Force Snocross National, presented by Christian Cars Online, starts right now.
That's where you want to be. So much you'll hear regarding the drivers' meeting.
And he's got it. Wow, look at this battle here. Yeah, and that is exactly what we want to see out of Elias.
Francis Peltier, ladies and gentlemen, wins race number 3 for the AMSOIL Pro Class.
Holy frick, dude, that was insane.
Red Snocross, baby! It's a drag! And Blair Morgan takes it!
Tucker Hibbert, the number 68 sled across the AMSOIL finish line, has done it!
Once again, AMSOIL Championship Snocross is back inside the tight confines of the Days of 76 Rodeo Grounds and Event Center for round 6 of the 2024 season. Welcome to the U.S. Air Force Snocross National, presented by Christian Cars Online and our coverage here on Fox Sports. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Small, my tag team partner, Robbie Malinowski. And Robbie, for these racers, one round to go. They were beating and banging and battling, and guess what? They get to do more of the same again tonight.
They sure do, but we don't get the third place podium finisher, Cody Cam. He had that bad ankle. We saw that yesterday. Unfortunately, he re-injured a little bit. I had a feeling that would happen. He was going for it. He laid it all out on the line.
Meanwhile, the third member of our broadcast team, Nolan Castillian, is down at the Days of 76 Museum. Nolan, what's going on down there?
I decided to make a stop at the Days of 76 Museum before heading over to the track for night 2 of the U.S. Air Force Snocross National, presented by ChristianCarsOnline.com. There's so much cool stuff in here about the historic town of Deadwood, and it's someplace you should really check out if you're ever in town. Speaking of historic, we saw some of our past champions take wins last night, and tonight I'm looking forward to seeing if there's any newcomers that can challenge the likes of Elias Ischel and Malinka 2 on the top of the box.
I'm confident in what we have been doing, and yeah, it shows, and I feel really good on the sled, good shape, and yeah, I just want to race after race, and yeah, it's I just want to race even more than what we do, so I'm excited and I feel really good.
We're ready for leg number 1 of the AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown here in Deadwood. One round to go. Elias Ischel got the broom out and swept. In order to do that again, he needs to win the first one.
He sure does, but I feel Har has got something for him. I seen it last night. He didn't go after him. I was kind of upset with him. I'm like, come on, you're letting this get away from you. So hopefully he can respond and get after Elias.
The first of our 3 AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown main events, 8 minutes plus 1 lap. Watch the left-hand side of that starting line with Emil Har and Elias Ischel. Let's see who comes out of the blocks with the stud boy hole shot.
And Elias, he's been so dominant on his starts this season. Here we go.
Oh, it's a good takeoff for just about everybody, including LaBelle. He gets a good ripper, and it's Emil Har with the stud boy hole shot on the outside. He'll rocket into the lead. Peltier tried to barrel there down to the inside of Ischel. Could not do it. Ischel in second, but he's got company on the outside with Emil Har.
And look at these two. They line up 1-2. They're 1-2 here. Oh, Har gives Elias a little bit of chin music. And look at these two. Look at Har. I love what I'm seeing tonight. Har going for the win.
Business has picked up, and we're not even 1 minute into this first AMSOIL Pro Final. Ischel taking the outside to get that triple-double rhythm through the U.S. Air Force flyaway. Pulls in about 3 sled lengths behind, closes up as they come out of that tight FXR turn, and Francis Peltier is right there as well in third within striking distance of Ischel.
And look at Har. He's starting to stretch that lead a little bit. This is not common ground for Elias. He's usually the one doing all the lead stretching, but Har out front early, looking solid, and look at how he gets over that little hump on that corner. So much sled control.
In the Triple Crown events that we've run so far, the majority of them have been won by Emil Haar, your current leader, and Elias Ischel, your runner-up. Nobody else has even come close.
No, they haven't. These two definitely are putting themselves to the front of the pack. And unfortunately, with Cody Cam going out tonight with that injury, he's another rider that has kind of inserted himself right up there. And you can see how rough it is.
And that would give an opportunity for Salston and Peterson to move up in the point standings, but so far, not so good for them. Salston back in 8th, Peterson buried back in 11th right now. And if you're that far back in the field while we watch LaBelle now try to work over fellow Quebecer Pelletier, if you're in the back of the field, all of a sudden 4 or 5 laps, you got leaders coming in trying to put you a lap down.
Yeah, you sure do. And this is the battle that I'm going to keep my eye on right now. LaBelle needs to get this thing going, and a good result right away in this first leg of the Triple Crown is key to that. You seen last night, he broke a belt in the first round. Well, that means back row second round. That means that he's fighting with the roost the whole way. You see him getting a little squirrely there. Jordan definitely one to hang it out a little bit, but see.
Another battle for position on the inside. There is Hunter Patnode on the outside. That's Jacob Yerk. Race for the 5th spot down to the FX on turn. Patnode will have the lane on the inside. Yerk going ahead and flaring out. Now going to let that Arctic Cat power eat. Oh, we almost had a mid-air collision.
Yeah, that's some tough racing. Those two are some pretty respectable racers. They definitely, a little mistake there. Nothing personal. Just hard racing. See Patnode, I love what I see again tonight out of him. He is answering back to a so-so finish last night, and obviously that injury to that elbow was not helping it.
Yeah, that happened in the previous round at Canterbury Park where he got hip checked off the track, landed unfortunately on that right elbow. Back up front, race leader Emil Haar putting that Judnick Motorsports Klein-sponsored Polaris through its paces. Holding on to about a 2.3-second gap over Elias Ischel as we close in on the halfway point of this race at the 4 minutes go mark.
Yeah, and Hart put a little bit of time on Elias that last lap. It was about 5/10, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a lot out here. This is such a small little course, and in my opinion, Hart needs to get out and check out as far as he can right now because he's going to get into lappers. You can see them. They're coming up. And last night you saw Elias have to slow down and Hart could close that gap. And wait and watch for that here in about another 3 laps. You're going to have lappers in Hart's way.
Emil again working his way through traffic. The question is, will the time expire before he hits the AMSOIL finish line? Answer to that question is no. So that means that he has to make another lap. The clock expires, so when he comes around, he'll see the white flag.
Yeah, and that's going to only help LaBelle because he is right on the tail of Pelletier, and he is looking for more time. He wants more time. He's obviously found something late in this race. So Haar out front, 1 lap to go. Got a sizable lead on Elias.
Tucked in behind Adam Peterson, Gustav Salston just in front of them, and Emil taking it down here on the inside. Just go where they're not and try to be smooth here over these final couple of corners. And you'll be 1/3 of the way towards an AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown. Emil Haar puts the Polaris on top here in race number 1. Second spot will go to the Viking Rocket, Elias Ischel. Then it's Pelletier finishing 3rd, followed by LaBelle in 4th, and Patnode pulling off a top 5.
Emil, a great run for you there. Got out front early. It looked like you knew how important it was to get around Elias early on. Tell me about how you made that move around him.
I don't know. I just pushed really hard the first couple laps to get up in front. I don't know if Elias had a bad line or something, but I was able to pass him and was able to stay smooth through the whole race. So let's keep the momentum up to the next round.
When AMSOIL Championship Snocross returns, the Pro Light Finals are ready to go green. Can Creighton Dillon deal another winning hand in Deadwood? With the thick, roosty snow conditions today, Nolan heads to the pits to find out how the racers are dealing with Mother Nature.
We're in the 1-3 Motorsports trailer. We saw something a little interesting going on here. What are we doing?
We are doing a roost deflector.
And how do we do it?
Well, you use the torch and then just a wrench and It looks ugly, but it works really good.
And what are we trying to do with that when we put it on the sled? What's the purpose of it?
Maybe avoid the roost from the goggles a little bit, so you don't need to wipe it so much. Hopefully I can stay up front, but if I'm catching in a lap, it might be good to have it.
AMSOIL Championship Snocross is presented by the U.S. Air Force. Serve your way. Can you make the team? By AMSOIL, runs on freedom. By Skidoo, that Skidoo feeling. By FXR, gear up for your outdoor adventures with FXR. And by Arctic Cat. It is a beautiful night here in Deadwood as we get a look at our PerTech weather report. Crystal clear conditions here as we get ready for the Pro Light Final. Can anybody stop the domination so far this season of Creighton Dillon?
I sure don't think so. He's just been too dominant. He went 1-1 in his heats, and he's lined up in that same spot on the starting line for this final. And that's just been his money spot. He's been able to hit that start every time. So Creighton Dillon, he is the one to beat. But you just never know. This is Deadwood, South Dakota. Oh, looks like Ashline got a good jump, but pay attention to Creighton.
And right in the middle, Evan Christian was there for a moment too, and he's going to get the inside lane, but they're all going to be chasing the Dominator Dillon out of the Polaris corner and down to the AMSOIL finish line.
And look at that. So he rinse and repeat 3 times in a row, 2 heats and a final, executes a perfect start. And so much carnage back there.
And it's going to get physical for second as well because we've got 2-3 sleds all trying to fight it out for that spot as they barrel their way down. Riley Best, or the 151 was in the mix there as they came through, or that might have been the 115 of Whitwer, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, you've got Evan Christian holding on to that second position. Ashline is right there behind him in third. You can see a lot of side-by-side racing going on behind him as Dillon tries to check out.
Yeah, Dillon already up to a 2.1 second lead. Fortunately for these guys, you can't let him get a start, and they keep letting it happen. Obviously, easier said than done to stop it, but he's just so dominant on that start. Clear vision, that's it. Name of the game right now is clear vision.
And if you're Evan Christian in the runner-up spot, you can hear somebody coming. You know you got to play defense, but you're looking ahead going, I don't want this 96 to get smaller and smaller in the distance in front of me.
And you know what? He's answering to that bell. 1.6 seconds. And that's with Creighton having clear vision. So he's riding a heck of a race. Love to see that out of the 33.
Nick Lorenz starting to draw in a little bit on Ashline as well. Early on in the Pro Light Final here, still about 6 minutes, 10 seconds plus a lap to go as we get a look at the blue and silver number 2 of the West Coast Customs sled of Nick Lorenz. 1 spot off the podium right now in 4th, holding off Kenny Mandrick.
Look at Mandrick just inserting himself into that top 5. That's what we love to see. Talk about him quite a bit. He's been kind of my dark horse. His consistency is what I'm impressed with. The speed's always been there. I say that over and over, but it's just the facts. So good job on him. Lorenz, silky smooth, just needs to get up early, put himself in that fight.
Yeah, starts are so important in snowcross, and Creighton Dillon has been consistently grabbing the stud boy hole shots and then just translating that into pulling away from the field, almost like he's taking the page out of the Viking Rockets playbook, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and that all starts with the starts, though. Creighton's just too dialed in right there. Team Motorsports has got some magic in that sled. The 96 has been hard to beat out of the hole. But here we go, traffic. Getting into lappers early.
Yeah,
only 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, still got plenty of time in this race, and Evan Christian has plenty of time to catch the dominator, Creighton Dillon, as he makes his way into traffic. The gap right now stands at almost 3.5 seconds. That's about a second and a half back to Ashline, sitting in the 3rd spot. He's hoping to stay with Evan Christian so that if Christian can reel in Dillon, he can kind of come along for the ride.
Yeah, that's right. But unfortunately, they just don't have the pace right now to run with Dylan. They're going to need a little bit of help to get back up to the tail of Creighton Dillon, and that's going to come in a lapper or a mistake by Dillon because he's just too wired right now.
So the clock runs down here, final 30 seconds. There is your race leader, Creighton Dillon. The red plates indicate that he is the point leader in the Pro Light division right now.
Yes, he is. When you win everything, there's no question who is the point leader. And that is exactly what he's done this year.
And this is, I think, at a timeout right for him, perhaps, that he might see the white flag this time. No. Okay, looks like we're going to go 2 more laps, so he did not get there in time. So Dillon will have to make an extra couple of laps, but the level of performance that's been coming out of Creighton on this Theme Motorsports sled, you know, having to run an extra lap as we see the yellow flag waving there for an incident on the inside of the track. He'll get the white flag as he comes across the line this time.
Is that Ashline down?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, he has dropped down the order, and that is bumped up. Well, looky there. You've got Lorenz and Mandrick now that could very well be fighting it out for a podium position. It's coming off the final corner once again. We're calling him the Dominator for good reason as Creighton Dillon again picks up the win in the Pro Light final. Evan Christian will come through about 5.5 seconds back in the number 2 position. And it looks like Trent Woodward just sketched off the sled just before the AMSOIL finish line jump. Nick Lorenz will come through to grab the final podium position.
Creighton, another big win for you tonight. Got the start, which looked like it helped, but not for long, because like I was talking about with Evan, it looked like conditions got pretty bad with the lappers in the roost.
Yeah, I had a really good line off the start. I clutch bumped pretty hard, so we didn't get the jump that we wanted. But yeah, I had a really good line. I was able to hit the triple on the first lap, which was huge. And yeah, as soon as we hit the lappers, I got so lost. I couldn't see Evan. I kind of just held my pace and just hoped that nobody came up behind me.
It's the tale of 2 classes, the wily vets of Pro-Am Plus 30 and the bright-eyed optimism of the Champ 120 class. Despite the age difference, both classes share the same competitive spirit. Welcome back to the U.S. Air Force Snocross National presented by Christian Cars Online here on Fox Sports. It's time for the Pro-Am Plus 30 final. Robbie, anybody in the field stick out as a potential favorite?
Yeah, Corin Todd. He's been so dominant in this, but Devin Deadman's been showing me a little bit of speed here and there, and he's always willing to risk it on that starting line, so pay attention to him. Oh, we got early movement. Not sure who it was. I think it was Adam Johnston.
And I think we had a squeeze play happen there where Corin Todd got squeezed out at the start. Everybody clean down into the Arctic Cat corner, and coming out the other side is your number 1 qualifier, Devin Denman, holding on to the lead.
Look at all the Arctic Cats out front. Top 3, all on the green machines, but Corin Todd sitting in that 4th spot. He's not going to rush it. He knows he's got some speed, and it looks like he might pick up one right away there.
Yeah, Ryan Frank getting mixed up there with the Rutledge machine as they run 2nd and 3rd. And then Corin Todd finally able to find some room. Looks like he's tucked up into that 3rd position now as they'll work their way back down to the AMSOIL finish line. Corin Todd going to work on the outside, looking for 2nd.
Yeah, Corin, oh, look at, makes contact. Little bump and run. Looks like he's going to get, no, he didn't get it done. So Frank holding strong.
Good battle here, and that battle might allow your race leader Denman to pull out a little bit of a gap. The sled got tilted in the air there for Ryan Frank. That's all Corin Todd needed to be able to blast his way up into the runner-up position here as we close in on the halfway point in this Pro-Am Plus 30 final. Corin Todd's got to be looking at his chops right now, seeing the traffic coming.
Oh, Deadman, not sure. He's really close there. I'm not sure what he had going on.
And Corin Todd tried to go and crosses him up now to the inside. Deadman gets bumped to the outside berm, and Corin Todd leads.
Yeah, Deadman was trying to make his sled about 12 feet wide throughout that straightaway is what it looked like. He knew Corin was coming. He knew there wasn't much he could do. So instead of, as I say that, Corin almost comes off. Deadman's right there, though. Don't rest on him, and he's going to go outside. See what happens.
There's a little chrome horn knocking there for Corin Todd. One of the riders at the back of the field. He'll blast along the outside line, come across. The flames go up for Corin Todd. He is your Pro-Am Plus 30 final winner. And a good battle down to the wire over Ryan Frank and Kip Rutledge.
Devin was riding great. I got a terrible start. I got black flagged in the second round, so I was a little nervous. I didn't do that again in the final, and it showed. So he made me work for it, and yeah, no, had a lot of fun. The track was deep and sugary, a big change from earlier. So yeah, no, had a blast out there. I'm glad to be up here. I'm glad to make it happen.
This is one of my favorite parts of some of our AMSOIL Championship Snocross broadcasts, when we get to bring you the youngest racers in the field. We're talking 5 to 8 years old in the 120 champ class. Robbie, you never had a chance to race in that, but I imagine when you were a kid and if the opportunity presented itself, you would have been chomping at the bit.
Oh, absolutely. These little wood chippers, like you call them, they're fun to watch and they battle hard. Yeah. Some money spent and the green light goes. It's like we have Zach Kranz out front.
Yeah, Cody, the #1 qualifier, bumping himself up here to the race lead. And it looks like also getting up there is Tucker Kraling on that number 707 as he closes from the outside to the inside. Oh boy, we almost had a pile up there. They're shifting lanes with no turn signals as they come down through the U.S. Air Force flyaway, and Kranz will lead here at the end of lap 1.
And he has a massive lead in this first lap. Definitely got that bike man performance. Polaris running real nice. Oh, a little carnage back there. Hang on to it.
Meanwhile, Cody Kranz continuing to cruise along comfortably, but here comes Ryan as Cody gets the white flag. He's got to deal with some lappers as that battle for second continues, but for Cody Kranz, quick look over the shoulder, and he knows he can just keep it upright, cruising home.
And that battle for second is over. Szymanski has gotten himself into second. 3.3 seconds down, but one straightaway to go. And look at this! Oh! They are mixing it up. Szymanski's not getting it for free.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Cody Kranz making his way across the AMSOIL finish line. He will get the win. And there is Szymanski. Thought there Kraling might have had a comeback move on the final lap. It was not to be.
Cody, you definitely got a good start out there right away, but I did see like you get a little bit something after the race from one of your friends out there. So just tell me a little bit something, because I think you got a bet going on.
If I win champ, I get $100.
That's a good deal. Who would you like to thank today?
My mom, my dad, Dave, Steve.
Congratulations on your podium finish, and that is your 120 champ podium.
Round 2 of the AMSOIL Triple Crown is on the line. Can the Viking Rocket, Elias Ishul, continue his dominance? AMSOIL Championship Snocross is presented by Polaris, Think Outside, by AMSOIL, Runs on Freedom, and by Pertec, your industrial hose specialist. The U.S. Air Force Snocross National, presented by Christian Cars Online, continues here on Fox Sports. It's time for the second leg of the AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown. Robbie, you called it earlier. You said it looked like Emil Haar had something. Well, he definitely did. Right now, he has the driver's seat toward the overall.
He sure does. He rang that bell and he answered back. He gave him the left and the right, and we'll see if he can do it again. Looks like Yerk's got a good jump. He's out front early. Looks like Elias is right there.
Elias to the outside, but he's got Haar to the outside. Haar just stuffed a tough block and drop kicked it off the turn. And now he's going to battle side by side for the lead with Patnode. Patnode sneaking up there as Haar takes over the #1 spot. And Patnode, whoa, into Ishul, and Patnode slides it and drops it.
Oh, unfortunate for Patnode. He was going in, trying to make contact and assert himself into second.
Oh, and another sled having an issue down here on the inside of the Arctic Cat Corner Complex. I wonder if that might have been the Oscar Norm sled that had some type of an issue as they come across the line. Yeah, Oscar having that sled stuck down there. I wonder if the front end augered in. Meanwhile, your race leader, Haar, just coming into that yellow flag zone. You can see on the left where they're struggling to try to get Norm's sled clear, so that makes it just one lane around the outside for the moment here in this second AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown main event.
And what Hart did on that start was 100% commitment. He knew if I don't get out front right away, Elias could check out and I could be sitting in that second spot again, like he did last night. So he made sure he was going to go as hard as he could into that corner and make sure that he came out first.
And if you're wondering why Emil slowed down and didn't leave the snow, that's what you do when you go into a yellow flag zone on the track. There is no such thing as a full course yellow per se in AMSOIL Championship Snowcross. And Adam Peterson deciding to throw the forearm shiver there.
You know what he did right
Jordan
there?
LaBelle.
Yeah, he said, "Welcome to the pro class, kid. You're in my way. I'm going ahead of you. Get out of the way, and I'm going to put myself right there into third spot." But LaBelle, he's a tough competitor. He answers right back. Better hang on. It's going to happen again. Ooh.
Yeah, that's tight quarters there. Peterson eventually knew that there was no way he was going to defend, and he had to let LaBelle out of the corner. But now he's going to try to return the favor again. LaBelle almost sketches out of the berm.
I like what I'm seeing out of Jordan, though. He's not scared. He went right back into that danger zone and left himself open. But, hey, it all paid off. He's sitting in that third spot.
Now he has it for the moment, but Peterson definitely wants it. As this battle continues, Emil Hart holding about a 3-second gap over Elias Ischel. And then about 2 seconds back behind the Viking Rocket is LaBelle on the number 511. That blue Makita-sponsored Skidoo for Warnet Racing. And we are almost 5 minutes and 1 lap remaining here in this second AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown main event. Man, LaBelle fast and loose as we check in with your race leader who's getting into traffic. And, oh, by the way, yep, that's the Viking Rocket you saw there in the background who's coming.
Yeah, but he got Patnode right in front of him, and Patnode is just throwing the roost down on him. Unfortunately, he's got no slowpoke out there, and he got out of the way. So Har's going to have a little bit of breathing room, but 2.1 seconds. Just pay attention to that clicker. As the time wears down, as you get into lappers, they can work for Elias and they can hurt Elias. Typically, if you're in second, it's going to help you.
Plenty of time still on the clock here. 4:20 plus a lap as Ischel comes out of the FXR turn. And man, that is getting rough. The berm is getting really high. Line changing now, either extreme inside or extreme outside. And LaBelle,
he's catching.
Yeah. LaBelle is drawing in. He is flying high, and he's carrying a lot of speed through that U.S. Air Force flyaway here. Probably more than anybody else right now.
He sure is. He looks great out there. And see Elias taking some different lines. It's actually working, though, because that's 1.5. So that ticker, Elias might have found something. Har might be in trouble.
And it looks like the key to the speed of LaBelle is getting through that section of the racetrack. He's coming in nose high and holding it nose high.
Yeah, and I see the line that Elias is doing that's working, and you see it right there. So they have seen something, found something. Like I said, that track is going to change. So if the camera stays right now on Elias, pay attention. He's going to go wide. Right here. Now, as I say that, he changes his line. Of course he does. But maybe he's just hanging on to that, gonna wait till the time is right.
Well, right now he has gone purple. He set the fastest lap of the race, which is a 21:017. That's how quickly they are getting around this Days of 76 Rodeo Grunts track here in Deadwood. So the gap staying at a little less than 2 seconds. But if you look ahead of Emil Hart, he's got nothing but clear straightaway ahead, so he's got a chance to pull this gap back out here as we get into the back half of this second main event.
Yeah, I love the commitment that I'm seeing out of Hart tonight. I was kind of making fun of the... Oh, as I say that, hang on. Emil almost threw it away. But as I was saying, I was giving the Polaris guys a little bit of a tough time. They seemed too comfortable taking that second place last night. I said, that's not the pedigree that you guys have. Usually you're going for the wins. So Har, he's got a lot of traffic in front of him. Elias is right there.
Yeah, LaBelle within striking distance as well. So much like we saw in the first main event here in Deadwood, as we get into this critical final 2 laps of the race, they'll get the white flag.
And Elias, he knows it. He knows he has a chance. It's all or nothing right now.
How far will the Viking Rocket push it to try to get that one more spot to wind up in the lead when the checkers come out? The white flag is going to wave this time.
He's going to need some help, though. One of these lappers is going to have to hold up hard just a little bit.
Initial got real close. Gets a good drive coming down the far inside as they come through the Skidoo rhythm section.
Yeah, this is a battle. One more straightaway. I don't think Elias has enough.
And Emo covers off on that inside lane. That will be enough. 2 for 2 so far in tonight's AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown for Emo Har.
And look at that gap, 1.2 seconds from first to third. So LaBelle, he's tagged on to those top 2 runners.
Emil, another win for you. We know how important consistency is in these Triple Crown races, and can't get much more consistent than starting off 1-1. What's the game plan now going into the third final?
Yeah, try to be smooth and not crash. Just finish the race good, and hopefully we can end up with the box.
Good luck, Emil Har, going for the sweep tonight.
From Norway to the USA, defending champ Malin Katu prepares to defend her title in Pro Women. The Pro-Am Women Final is up next here on AMSOIL Championship Snocross. Malin Katu could be stringing together one of those dream seasons.
She sure is, and she has been so dominant. There's not much else we can say about how dominant she's been.
We saw some frustration with other riders last night that were leading races, getting into lappers. Did you experience any of that, and how do you work through that when you're out front and getting into those lappers?
Yeah, I will say yesterday I was kind of on the bad end of the yellows and all that. There was something going on throughout the whole final, but you just got to look up and kind of just stay in your own helmet and just hope for the best. And yeah, like I said yesterday, it worked out, and I'm going to make sure that happens tonight too.
Here we go.
Striking for that stud boy hole shot from the outside. Malin Katu will have the advantage. But she's got company to the inside, and Ava McCurdy not going to be able to get there. Tasha Lang involved in a wreck here.
I think that might be Hauger. Unfortunately, 2 of the big hitters might be out of this race already. You see the yellows flying.
Now we're watching timing and scoring. They have not cycled through, so yeah, they were involved in that opening lap jingle, and that allows Malin Katu to leg it out here and get a lead over, it looks like, Natalie LaBelle in the number 2 spot. While she was looking for a good result, she's in a good spot right now. If she can just stay with Malin Katu and stay at pace with her here.
That's right, and just hopefully learn some lines and see where she can try to make up a little bit of time. And it was Helger in that mix up there, so the 2 big hitters that we were hoping to see, and oh boy, she's moving pretty slow. One thing that's not slow right there, Malin Katu. She has been so dominant.
So LaBelle is second. Carissa Blessum is running in third, followed by McKenna Kleeman and then Cecily Bernacci on the number 24 sled. As Malin makes her way down here into the Arctic Cap Polaris section. We're going to get a look at what happened with Anna Hauger and Tasha Lang here at the start.
Oh boy, that was scary. Yeah.
That is tough, Robbie.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So there's Carissa Blessum running in the 3rd spot with the 7 CE. Love the pink wrap on that sled.
Can't miss it. Definitely can pick it out of the group.
This would, I believe, be her first podium of the year. She can hang on to that 3rd position. McKenna Kleeman is a little distance back, so right now things looking pretty good for Sarissa. Looking good for Natalie LaBelle to wind up with a runner-up finish, and for Malin Katu, life's real good. She's going to have, probably by the time she gets to the AMSOIL finish line, just one more trip around to put another win in the column. So Malin making her way through that U.S. Air Force flyaway. There is the white flag. And she'll flip to the outside. They say the great ones make everything look easy.
Yeah, and she's doing exactly that. Lean, I said it last night, I'd love her to get out and race this sport class. I feel her level this year and her commitment will definitely do it. And there's a win. Or Malinka too.
Yes, the Moline machine continues to dominate in pro women as she lights the lamp here.
Moline, another dominant performance tonight. A great start, got out front. We know how important those Deadwood starts are, and you got a perfect one.
Yeah, no, we finally got that hole shot. I was not really committed to myself there, but Jake pumped me up on the start, and yeah, we got it, and I was very pumped on that. That makes it a whole lot easier. A lot of lappers, a lot of roost. Could not really see anything throughout that whole race, but I mean, we pulled it off, and I'm super happy with that.
Still ahead, the final round of the AMSOIL Triple Crown. Five-time champ Elias Ischel faces a strong push from Emil Haar and rookie Jordan LaBelle. Stay tuned. AMSOIL Championship Snocross is presented by the U.S. Air Force. Serve your way. Can you make the team? By AMSOIL, runs on freedom. By Sunoco, fuel your best. By Pertec, your industrial hose specialist. The final leg of the AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown here in Deadwood is going to look a little bit different, and here's why. Elias Ischel and Francis Pelletier were involved in a crash. They will not start the third leg of this final. That puts Emil Haar squarely in the driver's seat, but he's tied with points with Jordan LaBelle.
Yeah, and Jordan's looked pretty spicy out there, and his consistency is just getting stronger and stronger, so pay attention to the 5'11". I have a good feeling how he's going to finish in this final. Here we go.
Looks like Emil Haar got on the button pretty good. Does he have the stud boy hole shot? Yes, but now Adam Peterson, he's going to try to rip the outside. Yerk bounds down to the inside, cuts in front of Haar coming off the corner.
Jacob Yerk gets out front early looking. Peterson, hangs on.
Yeah, Peterson, I think, almost went off the track. LaBelle coming in there. Now LaBelle has moved up to third. He's going to throw down with Haar. That's the battle for the overall at the moment as Jacob Yerk takes the race lead.
That is some action early here, but LaBelle and Haar, no need to mark each other. You're right beside them, so here we go, and Haar almost comes off.
And that allows Peterson to carry some momentum around the outside. Can he use it to try to put Haar back another spot? Haar's moving over on track, takes the line away as they come to the end of the Skidoo rhythm section.
Look at the battle we have. Of course, this isn't for the lead. Our leader is Yerk, and he's checking out, making it look easy. Fortunately, he's already into a lapper. Something must have happened to Travis Kern.
Yeah, Kern has got a ton of snow roost caked on the front of that sled, so he definitely got caught up in a jingle. Meanwhile, LaBelle working the outside, holding on to the second spot on that Nikita Hornet Racing Skidoo. Again, tied with Haar, so the battle for the overall, Yerk won't factor into it even with a win. If he stays where he is, then whoever finishes in front, whether it's LaBelle or Haar, will win the overall.
There's plenty of race to go. I'm not going to start counting anything just yet, but it is exciting to see Yerk get out front. The Kylo Racing Artie Cat doing some damage early.
And opening up a nice little gap, closing in on a second and a half here, as we're inside 6 minutes plus 1 lap to go in this final AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown main event.
Just one thing Yerk has always been able to do is, just when you think he's checked out, he's not there, it's not working out for him, he'll show up and shut everyone's lights off and pull a win. And it's just like, it was meant to be, and he's been able to do this for years. So Jake has always had the talent, the speed, the ability, and always fun to watch him, show that to us and fans.
So Yerk enjoying a good little gap here, but behind him, there's hardly any gap between LaBelle and Hard, although LaBelle gets a good launch this time down the U.S. Air Force flyaway, and that gives him a breathing space of about 5 sled lengths here on Emil Hard. And again, this race here closing in on 5 minutes plus a lap to go. If Jacob Yerk wins, he's going to be on the podium. If LaBelle finishes ahead of Har, LaBelle gets the overall. Reverse it, Har gets the overall. We have a rider off a sled, Daniel Benham's sled, just sitting in the middle of the track here, and the leaders are going to be coming up on that toot sweet.
Okay, pay attention. I just saw a line out of, LaBelle. Pay attention right here on this section. He is going to get really close, maybe make a pass. Watch how he gets through here.
He shuffles the lane hard, going for the big air and the triple on the outside as LaBelle turns the wig back up here, coming off the FXR turn. Yellow flag's clear as the Benham sled is cleared down into the infield. So Yerk maintains the lead, closing in on 4 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
And that line that I was seeing LaBelle find the lap before that just didn't materialize again. He made up basically all that ground. But Yerk must have responded, found something, because he's kind of checked back out again.
And Jacob Yerk, that sled running fast and loose for him as he comes off the Polaris turn. LaBelle and Har still having their war for second and third. Oscar Norm, who's been looking for a good finish anywhere, he's sitting in the top 5 in this one, and so is Riley Bester.
Yeah, Riley Bester. Oh, Har makes a mistake.
Oh, and that could cost him the overall. There goes Norm by, and there goes Bester, and they're just going to keep passing them by one, and Har's going to fall almost all the way to the tail of the field. The table is now set for Jordan LaBelle in second. For Emil Har, it looks like it's going to be the agony of defeat and what could have been, but for Jacob Yerk, the thrill of victory, as in winning one of these AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown main events, is 1 lap away. So Jacob taking it off the FXR turn here for the final time, carefully threading his way through this rhythm section. And how about this for the Kylo Motorsports team? Jacob Yerk will win race number 3 in the AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown. And coming around now to hit the AMSOIL finish line jump, career overall number 1 for Jordan LaBelle as he finishes second. Oscar Norm winds up with a podium finish, at least for this main event, with a third. But the night belongs to Jordan LaBelle and the Makina Warner Racing Team. Your AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown overall winner on the number 511, Jordan LaBelle.
Jordan, we've seen you had the dominant pro light seasons, and you just heard it there, Jordan LaBelle, pro overall winner. How does that sound?
It's awesome to be up here with those guys. I mean, we've been working hard to finally be here in pro, and I think all of our effort, whole team and me and everyone at home, everyone that supports us, finally paid off.
Robbie, it's been a wild and crazy couple of rounds here in Deadwood. We're not to the halfway point of the season, but I feel like we kind of put things in a blender a little bit.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this place does. It puts it in a blender. It's small, it's tight, it shakes up the points, and it shakes up the results.
You can check out all of our web content either on our official website, snocross.com, or if you're more of the social media hound, we have plenty of fresh content on our social media platforms worth checking out. For Nolan and for Robbie, I'm Paul Small. You've been watching AMSOIL Championship Snocross from Deadwood, South Dakota, and the U.S. Air Force Snocross National, presented by Christian Cars Online. Thanks for tuning in on Fox Sports.